Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
And here we are. Everything is running very good. Welcome. My name is Ike. This is switzerland.playit with TAGN. The angry game news every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. So far, I managed to keep that time spot on time. I missed one time, kind of. How are you doing, guys? Ahoy, haste, ahoy, ouch, my junk already in the chat there. We had a weekend with a lot of little news, not the most amazing, interesting news, but yeah, I tried to gather as much as possible to cover the whole 3-day period. I'm not covering news, which is mainly like Friday, missing most of the Friday, Saturday and Sunday, of course, and a little bit of Monday. I mean, for you it's earlier, for me it's already afternoon right now, so I have like kind of an advantage because I am awake longer than most of you guys. And let's get into it, because we have this story going on with Tencent and Sony about the Temu ripoff of Horizon, the Horizon franchise, and we have some development there. But before we go there, we have other stuff to talk about. For example, Battlefield stuff. Battlefield 6 open beta. Players on PS5 are getting an exclusive skin. I'm not going into the details into this article, really. I just wanted to mention that PlayStation wants to offer everybody who is joining or joined the beta of Battlefield 6 will get a exclusive skin for that participation, which I find already stupid. It's a bad move in my opinion, because we heard like Battlefield is not going to become this new Call of Duty crap with all those flashy, colorful skins of other franchises and shit like that. But that is already bad. Offering skins for just participating in a beta test, I don't know what to think about it really, but overall I think it's a bad idea. So yeah, there we are already. I think it's just stupid. Why you go that route? And more of Battlefield 6, because we talked about it last week, the secure boot stuff, meaning you have to be secure boot enabled, having it enabled on your PC, on your Windows PC, and to prevent mainly like hackers and unauthorized software to be executed, and to prevent the cheaters. But obviously I told already it's not going to prevent really. If somebody wants really to cheat, they will find ways, and we already get in the beta cheaters with secure boot requirements. Cheaters already spotted in Battlefield 6 open beta despite secure boot requirement. Update 1 p.m. 1:17 p.m. Pacific. That was on August 8th. EA has issued a statement acknowledging the cheating occurring in Battlefield 6 and highlighting its effort to combat it. In the post, the publisher says its existing tech has already prevented 330,000 attempts to cheat or tamper with anti-cheat controls. I mean, those numbers mean jack shit, to be honest, because it could be like one user just attempting like 10,000 cheat attempts on his own, or more, 100,000. We don't really know. We have no idea. So those numbers don't really mean anything to me. I can't fathom. Is that a lot? Is that just a little bit? Nobody knows, but it's a big number in general, so people might be impressed. I don't know. Additionally, players reported 44,000 instances of cheating on day one, and another 60,000 today so far. EA says it will continue to evolve its effort to combat cheating and encourage users to continue reporting issues. And the article goes into more details. We're gonna watch just this little clip because it shows like how cheating can be done and how it looks in the game itself. And why don't we have audio? Give me a sec. This wavelength is broken as fuck lately. Okay, it crashed. Do you still hear me? You still hear me? I need to... Still haven't found what causes it. What the heck causes it? Task Manager. It's unpredictable too. Sometimes it works the whole show through, sometimes it doesn't. Wavelength. Okay, we should be back, and you still not hearing it. Why not? And it just crashed again. Holy crap. Elgato, what the heck? That's weird as fuck. Let's reload. Okay, my voice is back. Where's the clip? Hopefully this time it's gonna work. I don't know what the issue really is. Yeah, you still don't hear it, but it doesn't matter, I guess. You just see in the clip, like, the players from your team have a blue box around them, and the other team has some purple, violet box around them. So this player sees where they are. The system is reporting like the locations from server, and he somehow can like intercept information from the server of the locations of the players. And this cheat tool enables it to make it visually on his screen. How big is that? Oh, John Thunder. Scroll. Fake safe boot. I mean, for the normal user, like I said last week, it is a security tool for sure. You are not a normal user, believe it or not, John Thunder and Haste. You are not a normal user out there. The majority of people have no idea about computers. They are just happy that they can start it up. It shows Windows, they log in, they can do their web browsing, they can do their Excel sheet stuff, and they just are happy, you know. They don't know about, like, oh, is this software secure? And oh, Microsoft tells me I should better not, so I keep my hands off and all that shit. So yeah, the majority of users helps. Secure boot just locks the bootloader. Installed Battlefield 6 and uninstalled after I got that secure boot shit. I don't blame anybody for that though. I guess Microsoft redefined what secure boot is. It is used to only mean the UEFI bootloader requires a signed boot executable. You can run Linux with a signed bootloader. Yeah, the secure boot just prevents like unauthorized use of software. Meaning you have like a table on a server. The server has some kind of gone through this software and has signed it off on GitHub, for example, and all that crap. So it helps a little bit with security for normies out there. Yet to me, it seems like EA are incompetent at creating a way to protect players against hackers. It's not even hacking. It's not really hacking. It's just data mining. All I can see from this clip is like they somehow can data mine the server inputs there, intercept somehow, but not like hacking in that sense, and make it visually like viewable where the players are. Should have got a Mac. Like your vocal cords just got destroyed. They should be fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, because Wavelink is pissing me off now since maybe the latest update. It's just crashing on me. No, yeah, maybe a little bit before that, on Windows 11 already. So don't know really what happened there. The secure boot, secure safe way for hackers to do their thing. Yeah, maybe. I'm getting confused with Microsoft redefining things. Yeah. I'm getting confused by this guy. So the cheaters are not kept out. That's the main point here. I told yesterweek it's not going to prevent somebody who wants to cheat in a game. They're going to do some stuff with their secure boot in the first place and will manage to get in. And developers of apps, of software, are going to make a secure boot safe to load hacking or cheating tool in general. So what does it matter? I don't get it really. To prevent cheaters, that's the bad way overall. I'm a little bit annoyed more and more by Hideo Kojima, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm already kind of even pissed at him. But let's just talk about this news first in general. Hideo Kojima alone is currently working on PlayStation exclusive Physant, or Physant, I don't fucking know. Hideo Kojima could well be one of the busiest directors, designers in the industry right now. Not only is he fielding interviews and constantly posting on social media, but he's also simultaneously working on 3 games at his studio, Kojima Production. First, there's Death Stranding 2 on the beach. He's working on updates for the recently released game. Then there's OD, Overdose, a horror title that he is now giving more focus as the aforementioned sequel. Finally, there's Physant, that mysterious PlayStation exclusive announced at the start of last year. In an interview with IndieWire, Kojima comments that he alone is currently working on this later project. So Physant is technically in the works, but it's at the conceptual stage, and Kojima is working on it solo, basically meaning it's years and years away. So conceptual stage can mean jack shit, actually, so he's pretending like he's so busy with that, and he's doing it all by himself at this moment. Conceptual stage can mean just fucking writing like the first fucking sentence of a script of some sort. So that doesn't help anything, that can mean anything. He is telling us nothing new. And I feel more and more he actually is just the director of anything. Maybe he's a really bad programmer, a really bad coding guy. He might be like great with camera work and with the story and all that. He is great with stories in general, but I think he's full of it himself these days. It's weird. I just don't like what is happening, and that everybody pretends like he's the greatest mind out there, like just this article kind of tries to depict him. And I actually just overlooked Overdose the whole time. I didn't care at all. I didn't find it interesting. I thought like this one frame we saw from the trailer over the news the last 2 months or whatever. And I watched the trailer. And I didn't realize it, but do you know Hunter Schafer? The tranny. You know the tranny Hunter Schafer, who was shortly like mentioned, oh, Hunter Schafer, this dude, is gonna play Zelda in the live action movie by Nintendo. And Hunter Schafer is one of the 3 actors in this trailer, which I lost at this point all respect for Kojima. So what is he trying to prove here? What is his goal here with putting Hunter Schafer in that shit? So you lost me there, Kojima. Go fuck off. I don't care for your future games at all anymore. Especially not for Overdose. Whatever that game might be. You have become a bigger weirdo than you already were. That's just my opinion. That's all I can say. Oh yeah, Reeden. Motherfucker, she says. Just for the sake of it. Abnormal, what about retards? Nothing about retards. Those two, Kojima becoming the Peter Pascal of gaming world. And it's not like that bad, but overall, when people mention Kojima, everybody has this picture in their mind like, oh yeah, Kojima, Death Stranding, man, mind-blowing. It's a good game. It's a nice, really fun story overall. But call me your fucking tits. Call me your fucking tits. He has just shown us he is a weirdo working with trannies. There are so many people on this globe. So many fucking people. Without being confused about their gender. But he goes for Hunter Schafer just for whatever reason. It's just weird. What it is what it is. It is what it is. As long as I don't have to watch the trans am getting sucked, I don't mind too much. I mind. That's always how it starts, Haste. Don't give them the little finger. And with them, I mean anybody who wants to push a narrative. Don't give them ever the little finger ever again. Never ever. Don't do it. Google and Valve will kill Steam for Chromebooks. Experiment in January 2026. Bad news if you're one of the handful of people using Steam to play on a Chromebook. Google and Valve are preparing to and support for the still in beta Chrome OS version of Steam in January 1st, 2026. According to 9to5 Google, Steam can still be installed on Chromebooks, but it now comes with a notice announcing the end of support. Steam originally launched on Chromebooks in early 2022 as an alpha that ran on just a handful of newer and higher spec devices with Intel chips inside. Google has just 99 games on its list of titles that run well, mostly older and less demanding games, including many 2D instead of 3D graphics. Newer and more demanding games probably can run, thanks to Proton, but they aren't playable because of hardware limitations. But Google could also be trying to clean up a stray Chrome OS related project as part of its publicly stated but extremely vague plans to merge Android and Chrome OS. So I guess Valve doesn't want to end it, but Google just doesn't care, and this last sentence here shows like where the way goes with those less demanding, more web browser orientated OSs. Like Chrome OS is pretty much just a web browser as the OS itself in general. And Chromebooks, not many sold. It's like, I think of the notebooks in the US, roughly about 5% or something like that. So not a lot of those are around. Mainly in schools, because they are just cheaper. You don't need to pay licenses to anybody pretty much for that. So that's why a lot of schools use them. And yeah, they are trying to merge Android with Chrome OS, making like one operating system here. Very similar to Apple and their iOS, which is merging more and more with the smartphone iOS and the tablet iOS, like making one iOS It keeps the cost down because the hardware specs are getting also closer together, like from the smartphones and the tablets and all alike. So it makes sense that they are trying to merge that in the future, probably. And don't want to think about the gaming stuff for now, because 99 games on this list, 100 games is not a lot, so who cares, I assume. And they might be not too wrong with that. It might change in the future. Maybe they're going the way of the streaming more in general, and then they will come back later to Valve, making another like joint venture there with streaming your games from your main PC to your Chrome OS or whatever. Even over the internet, you can do that now if you have a fast enough connection. But yeah, that's for the gamers out there on Chrome OS or Chromebooks in general. And support 2026. Sad news, maybe, I don't know. Probably not a lot of people have those devices. Huang, do you not speak his evil name here? Huang whatever. Which Huang? Looks like Temu Jensen Huang. Who, the Kojima? Not really, no. You might think because of his jacket. I don't know. I wouldn't compare him with that guy. Ahoy Godzilla. Howdy, not much drinking coffee, getting ready for the day. This guy's BioBlurb says he reviews Windows and Mac OS. Snooze. Even Godzilla needs his monster-sized coffee. Godzilla. Anyhow, side note, if you know about this guy, you might get sad. I don't fucking know, but I have to mention it because it's kind of a big franchise, you know. Red Ferguson departs Blizzard, the Diablo franchise. He was the boss of the Diablo franchise for 5 years now. And now the former boss of Gears of War takes over the Diablo department at Blizzard there. After 5 years of driving the Diablo franchise forward with our 4 big launches, it's time for me to step away from Blizzard Microsoft. Sword in hand and see what's next, Ferguson wrote. The teams are set up for success with an exciting slate of releases ahead. I'm incredibly proud of what we've built together and looking forward to what comes next for Diablo and for me. If the team is set up for fucking success, why the fuck would you leave in the first place? Is the job so stressful? I don't believe you. I think you're full of it. I think you just want to jump the ship before it goes under, probably, because Diablo is not this franchise anymore. Not a lot of people are super into Diablo anymore. Diablo 4, the success is not really there anymore. We don't talk about Diablo Immortal, the mobile version, pay to win. Big pay to win there, so I think you are just lying to us, and as usual, I don't appreciate liars at fucking all. So good luck in your future there, but you are probably just jumping the ship. Maybe, I don't know. After years of driving the Diablo franchise into its grave, more like that, yeah, maybe. It's time to retire and run with the money I made. Vaniso, thank you for following there. Diablo 1 and 2 are great. 3 was okay. 3 was also still good. I loved the monk in 3. Even like the visual, the style was nice and all that. I enjoyed. But after playing it a few times through, I don't want to go just higher and higher difficulty, just getting more damage and putting more damage out there. Whatever. I rather would install Diablo 2, the remake there, which you can switch like old visuals and new visuals on the fly. Even hardcore ARPG players say Diablo 4 sucks. I remember it looks like very similar to 3. It's nothing special there either. Also, I think story-wise, after you beat like the biggest daddy, like in the lore, Diablo, we don't need to beat Lilith who the fuck is Lilith, alright? So, whatever. I remember Rod was doing a big shot, hot shit speech for banning smoking in Gears 5. That's stupid, but yeah. I will not eat the box, but he will. It's funny, as in, haha, and strange to see all the franchises go this route. Yeah, maybe. I tried Diablo 4, did nothing for me whatsoever. The risk-reward was much less in 3. I didn't even care for that, really. I always was enjoying like the story of Diablo a lot. The music was for me always a big part. And the music in 3 already kind of was okay, fine. In some parts really good, but overall forgettable, you know. I think that is why I did not like it as much. Moira Lilith skin is badass. What? On Overwatch. Ever Eden, who the fuck gives a shit about Overwatch? She still likes. You know the meme about Wolverine and him laying in his bed and touching the picture, like having memories, remembers the good old times. That's Ever Eden on the bed, having Overwatch. This lady. Stay here, you Ever Eden. I have Australian news. Just saying. Another side note, Konami's retro collections keep getting better. Gradius Origins, maybe its best yet. Yeah, so they are releasing a collection here. If you are into the retro stuff and you want to waste your money, maybe, I don't know, go get this collection. If you have any love for the Gradius, Nemesis, Salamander, or Life Force games, or simply have an affection for expertly developed retro game anthologies, you simply can't miss with Konami and M2's latest collection. M2 is a big, like, very professional emulator software who makes like collections for other systems for older games mainly. It's a gorgeous, careful crafted homage to a beloved series that, while not exhaustive in its scope, it focuses solely on the arcade games. It's comprehensive and additive in the most impressive ways. So you get all those games in this collection. Gradius Origins is available now on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X. It costs, at least on Steam, about $40. So just to have like a frame of the cost there. I think it's too high, but I would not mind to play it actually again. The shmups! Shoot 'em ups! Shmups! Did you know? You probably didn't. That's why you're here, to hear the news. A Far Cry TV show that doesn't shy away from the darkest, most absurd parts of humanity is reportedly in development at FX. A TV show based on Ubisoft's Far Cry franchise is allegedly in development at FX. Confirmation came not via a leak, but apparently from Ubisoft itself, which posted about the show on its own site, before quickly redirecting it back to the main page again, albeit not quite quickly enough to have escaped the notice of Reddit. The Reddit to the rescue here. I haven't actually looked. I might do it right now. Time-wise, might have enough. Do we have screenshots of that shit? No? Oh, they removed the content because spoilers or whatever. So that tells me probably very true, you know. That tells me probably very, very true. They didn't want to show what's going on with this new upcoming show, Far Cry TV series. I don't know how this is gonna work out. Maybe it's gonna be good. I just wanted to report on it. So you have it in mind now. Memorize it, everybody. Far Cry TV show coming. When? Who the fuck knows? To Australia down under. EB Games now has PS1, Wii U, and OG Xbox game online, and the retro range is now in all stores. Update, we now can confirm that all stores now have their range of retro games accessories. Whilst the full lineup of PS1, Xbox and Wii U games aren't online, they have been started getting added. A few examples below. So yeah, they're just expanding their retro stuff in their stores and online. And of course, because it's retro, it's all like used stuff, pre-owned. So very unpredictable online. And what is on stock and all that. I picked this one out because I love stuff like that. I enjoy when stores just like chain stores like EB Games in Australia do stuff like that. Like they want this retro corner, still keeping it alive in their stores. And you can go there and sell your old games and you're going to get a little bit money and they sell it further and everybody is happy. I would love to see if companies might pick on the idea like reprinting their games, especially when they are on CDs and you still hold the rights. Nothing really prevents you to just print like a small batch and shipping out to the world, you know. Make maybe an exclusive contract with such a chain store here. And yeah, just print old games again. You might make a buck and make people happy, in my opinion. There is a market. That's all I can say. But yeah, EB Games is trying its best, and I love stories like that. Far Cry, they're going to ruin another franchise? We don't know. Don't assume yet. The chances are high, yes. I hated the fact that they had to pay just to play in the consoles, but you don't need to do so anymore, right? Overwatch? Just ask Ever Eden about Overwatch, anything. She is probably the expert. I play it and I hate every minute. I still play it. Weirdo. The only good thing to come out of Overwatch was all the smut based on the game. Lol. I don't like it. It's a battle royale game, a cartoonish one too. So whatever. Why must they make a show of everything? Money? I don't know. I can only assume there's money involved. Making money. I think we are actually now drifting away from the superhero crap. The superhero, it's not a genre actually, right? But I think we are like moving away from the superhero and getting way more like game-related movies and shows and all that. We have Twisted Metal, Gears of War, Mass Effect, and all those big franchises are getting shows. And yeah, Metroid, probably at some point a movie about Metroid, maybe like a dark alien related, like to the movie Alien, the franchise Alien related maybe. We don't know. But I think that's where we are drifting slowly to the game related franchises, making them into movies and shows. Just make an actual Far Cry Blood Dragon adaptation and it'll be fun. Yeah, David Hasselhoff maybe as the big baddie. Could work. At least could be fun. Far Cry, they're going to ruin another. Reddit, LOL Comedy Central. Far Cry. I played a free-to-play shooter because COD and Battlefield are riddled with microtransaction anyway. True. And no console sub is needed for F2P. Don't know. Oh, you mean about Overwatch? I have no idea. I think I never downloaded Overwatch. Can't say anything about that. Hate playing, hate watching. These are the new things of this generation. Maybe. Oi, Luigi! God of War will be next. Yeah, God of War. I already reported on that too. So there are a lot of stuff. Enjoying Twisted Metal Season 2. Haven't started it yet. I am just finished today Season 2 of Sopranos. So I'm gonna keep on grinding on Sopranos watching. Won't be surprised. A Metroid movie can work if done right. The problem with Metroid is it's not a big franchise actually. It's pretty small. It's very only for fans, really, only for fans. But you can make like a darker toned alien movie out of it. But yes, I love the retro stuff here. Another layoffs with BitHell Games just announced. Yeah, somebody is gonna be sad. Studio boss Mike Bithell shared a statement on Blue Sky. Why there only? I don't know. Confirming 11 roles had been affected after the developer was unable to secure funding for a new larger scale project. It became clear leading up to the release of our most recent game, Tron Catalyst, that we were not immune to the challenges faced by many games development teams seeking funding partners in 2024 and 2025, wrote Bithell. We've fortunately been able to communicate these challenges ahead of time and work with affected staff to ease departures as much as possible via severances packages. It's important to state that this was an incredible team of exponentially talented people. Bithell clarified that the redundancies will not impact the availability of its existing self-published games and ongoing support for them. And then we have just some ex-employees now praising the company, how great it actually was, and such. I just think it's fair just to report on smaller studios sometimes. And even they are struggling and have to lay off. Hardware news! I'm not going to go through the article, I'm just telling you what I wrote and what I saw. Sopranos, hell yeah! I'm rewatching Rescue Me now. Rescue Me, I think I never watched anything of it. That will be the second season. The Sky is Blue, never wouldn't have known. Nah. It is strange that they are acknowledging like that reality, that fact of when the sky has no clouds, it's blue. It's just a fact. But with genders, that's not factual. After 2 years of being asked nearly every day for Steam Deck OLED 32GB RAM upgrades, one modder says it's finally possible, and I'm now even more concerned for the ROG Xbox Ellie. So you might get cheaper off by just buying an OLED, maybe a used one, and sending it in to this guy. Showcased by modders, Slick buys mods and repairs the Steam Deck OLED. Memory mod swaps out an existing 16GB RAM chips with 32GB high-density alternatives. Isaac, the gaming handheld modding expert behind the channel, says they've been working on the mod after receiving requests for the past 2 years nearly every day. I suggest if you are interested in stuff like that, upgrading, because the RAM is like soldered in on the Steam Deck. So it was not easy just to swap them. Now it's possible if you want to have a Steam Deck with higher memory. And it involves like getting the memory chip, the controller of the whole system, and reprogram that too. Just watch the video down in the video description, as always, all the links to my articles. It's pretty interesting. He swaps out all the RAM chips and just puts in higher density alternatives. If you have a little bit money, the chips alone cost you $110 and the modding stuff, he is like still in the developing of this whole process and benchmarking it, the performance, if there's a real benefit of all that. And he wants to find people who want to take the risk pretty much with him. But yeah, there you have it. If you have a Steam Deck OLED and you want higher, larger RAM, get in contact with that guy. Link down below. In China, they are doing RTX 4090s with 48GB of VRAM for AI farms. I wouldn't trust that at all, John Thunder. Whatever comes from China with redoing and those are most likely older GPUs with that amount of RAM already enabled on their board. but doing the bias change to make it appear like 4090s and stuff like that. I wouldn't trust them on that. But whatever comes from China in that regard, zero trustworthy. It could be the case, but I wouldn't trust that. I just wouldn't. Because certain GPUs are made only to work with that amount of RAM in general by NVIDIA. So if it's not officially done with NVIDIA's like corporation there, not trustworthy. Yeah, China is nuts. They're making 60 gigabyte RX 5080s too. Again, probably just very sophisticated BIOS updates or firmware updates there. I'm not sure the real world usability of 32 gigabyte RAM in a handheld. Yeah, maybe not. But that's why he searched for people who try to work with him. Lol damn, I want to get one of those GPUs. I would be set for years. Yeah, training on your handheld. We have some AI news here in a bit. Kind of. They do it in a back alley right behind a food joint with rats crawling next to them as they do the soldering. That's India, Godzilla. That's India. Get your fucking racism right there, okay? They do spoof cards too. They do mainly only spoof cards. But they are making 4090s with 48 gigabyte just for their AI forums. I still don't trust them on that. Yeah, they program fake values. Not for sale. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They might not tell you not for sale, and they might tell you it's for our AI forums, blah blah blah. Not really. Like I said, I just don't trust the Chinese on that. If somebody is too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. Side note, if for nostalgia nerds here, Heretic and Hexen get remastered for a new generation to experience. Just watch the little trailer here. If you're into those old 3D FPS games, the remaster, they try to make it sound super fancy in the trailers, like, oh yeah, 4K, 60 to 120 frames per second. Yeah, I fucking hope with those graphics, like you're gonna make it smooth running. It's like a fucking 30-year-old, 35-year-old games here we are talking about. One of the biggest improvements is full cross-platform multiplayer, allowing players across different systems to join games quickly using a room code. The remaster also includes access to the Raven Vault, a collection of behind-the-scene materials from the original development. For music fans, there's the option to switch between the original MIDI or FM synth soundtracks, or enjoy a modern remix by composer Andrew Holzholt. If you already own the original versions of Heretic or Hexen, you'll be able to access and download them on the same platform. Players who already own the original versions of Heretic, Shadow of the Serpent, Riders, Hexen Beyond Heretic, and Hexen Death Knights of the Dark Citadel receive a free upgrade to Heretic and Hexen in their respective game library on the same platform. Steam and GOG versions include these originals as launch options or downloads. The remaster only requires a Bethesda account to access online multiplayer and browse or upload mods depending on your platform. It's just important to notice what they mean here. If you have the GOG versions or get them now, you can use them completely independent from a Bethesda account. Only for, of course, one single player offline stuff. If you want to play online with others, well, pretty normal to get an account, I guess. Andrew Holzholt rocks. John Thunder, a little bit happier already. I want one just for the strangeness. Would be interesting to test. Yeah, I wouldn't mind to get them for free and just to test around, but still wouldn't trust them. Someone tested an RTX 3070 with 16 gigabyte and it worked. Isn't the RTX 3070's official 16 gigabyte version out there? Okay, I talked about this already a little bit. He's just gonna confirm here more about all that. Weapons directors, Resident Evil movie won't have existing characters because fans can play the games for their stories. I talked about the Krager guy who has a big success with his new movie, now Weapons, in the theaters. People seem to enjoy it a lot. It seems to be a very good movie, not a lot of DI stuff in it and shit like that. So good for viewers and for the director here. Earlier this year, it was confirmed that Zach Krager, the writer-director behind the critically acclaimed horror movie Barbarian and the recently released Weapons, will be writing and directing a new Resident Evil movie, which will reboot the film series. He already told us at one point, yeah, you're gonna have not like a typically Resident Evil game style story. And he now just confirmed it to get rid of the assumptions and whatever. With Barbarian and Weapons achieving Rotten Tomatoes scores of 92% and 95% respectively, fans are excited about the prospect of Krager directing a Resident Evil movie and the hope that it could result in similar critical praise. In an interview with Inverse, Krager has now explained that his film won't retell the stories from the games, but will instead feature new characters and tell a new story in the same universe. Krager explained that because he is a big fan of the Resident Evil games, he already told that, yes, in the article I mentioned back 5-6 weeks ago, he doesn't feel there's any need to retell their stories because in his eyes they've already been told well enough. He is not wrong with that statement at all. So we know where Leon stands, we know where Claire stands, we know where all those big characters really stand in the game lore, right? So he might be not too wrong with just saying, yeah, we might need new characters. But like story-wise, I hope you at least connect your story though to the other stories. Otherwise, it might feel like a little bit too disconnected. Let me say this is not breaking the rules of the games, Krager said, insisting that the new movie will still respect Resident Evil lore. I am the biggest worshipper of the games, so I'm telling a story that is a love letter to the games and follows the rules of the games. It is obedient to the lore of the games. It's just a different story. I'm not going to tell Leon's story because Leon's story is told in the games. Fans already have that. Krager says that if any players were hoping to see characters like Leon, Jill, Chris, or Claire appearing in his movie, they can play the game to see their stories. That is a little bit concerning for me. Like, you're telling me they are not going to appear at all, so maybe you're pissing off fans a little bit. How about you, like I said, connect at least to the existing stories? So it might not hurt if you put like Leon at one point in the movie. He might do that. He might do that in the first place if he is really a fan. Constantin Film, which has held the screen rights for Resident Evil since the 1990s, will reportedly produce the reboot along with PlayStation Productions, a studio formed in 2019 by Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt its original game properties for film and television in partnership with Sony Pictures. It's a stupid saying, its original game properties. Resident Evil was not Sony's it's just stupid phrased. Sony has set a release date of September 18, 2026 for the movie. The film is the second attempt by Constantin Film to reboot Resident Evil movie series. With 2021 film Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, which was based off the first two games, earning a Rotten Tomatoes score of 30%. I like the movie, but maybe because I like a lot Resident Evil 2, so I just found it interesting to see it like in a full-fledged, hyper-realistic rendering of the game, pretty much. But that's only me, I guess. 30% Rotten Tomato score there. Are you waiting for the new Resident Evil movie? I bet 3060 Ti would also work with 16 GB. Yeah, probably. Because he is a big fan of Resident Evil movies, he will not include Leon because he is a white male hero. White males must be incompetent and not good at anything. Well, that's not true because he has whiteys in his weapons movie, and the weapons movie is beloved. A lot beloved. So he's not against white people. Is that kid supposed to be scary? It just looks like he took much Ritalin. I don't know. You have to watch the movie. I just hear only good things about these weapons. I can't say anything else. Sorry, too, or I'm my own grammar Nazi. Are you a Fortnite player? I hope you are. Because this is big news for you! Fortnite pet companions could include robot cats and skateboarding turtles. Oh, you waited for that, didn't you? Fortnite is set to bring more pets to the fray, a new leak suggests. Data-mined images pulled from Thursday's season update have hit the internet, showing off an array of animals that appear to be new companion cosmetics. Pictures of a cuddle team leader animal, a skateboarding turtle, 2 pugs, and a golden retriever are making the rounds on social media, with the latter companion looking very familiar. Whatever. I don't want to include such news, but it's a big news because many people play a lot of fucking Fortnite. What can I say? It's a beloved franchise. It just is. But that's a little sign for me. That's why I picked it in the first place too. Maybe they are running low on just selling skins only for your character only. Maybe after now 8 years of Fortnite, they need to bring you something a little bit more newish. And here you have pets. Because I guess you can't live off only of skins. You have like a gazillion skins in this game, and everybody wants money if they give like their appearance to Epic Games. Epic Games, by the way, still assholes. I still can't fucking reach anybody. No support out there. How will I reach support? I try to reach them even via X. No reply, jack shit. I can't log in. I don't get emails. But yes, after now 8 years, and they getting on a yearly basis about $5 billion in revenue. They might need to look out for new ideas how to make more money. And pets might be going well for the next 2-3 years, offering you all kinds of weird pets. I don't know why people are so into it, because are you going to pay so much attention when you're waiting to get the game started in the lobby or whatever you call it? Like doing all those fancy emotes and with your skin, and I don't give a shit. If I have like 40 peoples with everybody has a different skin, I'm not going to memorize those. What is the point of all those skins? I just don't get it. And now you're going to get like everybody has a different pet too. So if you are happy, fine, do whatever. But I find it just strange. Well, it is what it is. Fortnite better not bring Pikachu or they will be sued by Nintendo. Oh, no, Nintendo, if they bring anything in the Fortnite, they're gonna make money with it. You can be sure of that. They're gonna have a nice license deal there. There were 3 gamer channels showcased on the main page last night playing Fortnite and COD. And I never once seen any of these people, and they had 18 to 28k people watching. Yeah, I mean, if you get featured, why doesn't the news get featured? I need my reach. It would be way more fun with the news. I have to get less news, talk more with the chat. Wouldn't that be fun? On another side note, The Sims is getting an official board game later this month. If you're into board games, here you have Sims. There you go. That's all I can say. Sims also a big franchise, so I had to mention it. Especially when you're if you're into board games. It looks kind of neat, I have to say. It looks kind of neat. Do we have a big picture? Here, yeah. Get away with that shit! Oh, fuck's sake. Where are you now? What are you showing me all of a sudden? There. Looks kind of neat. You have like a sim map here, not a simp map. And you have the diamond here as your figure. Cards. You can have mentions. Could be fun if you're into board games and know about the Sims lore there. Looks like something neat. But there were less than 10 people in each chat. Yeah, I know. I'm complaining every day about that shit. What can I say? I think they were about views. No, if you're featured, you're just getting all those lurkers. Stupid but sadly, Fortnite is the best current way to play online multiplayer with Master Chief. What the fuck are you talking about? Just play Halo 1. How about? Combat evolved. Combat is evolving in the new Tencent game. The upcoming Tencent game. Tencent's Horizon Zero Dawn ripoff is looking pretty different after Sony lawsuit. Just on the surface. For now. In July, Sony sued Mega Gaming Corp Tencent over the Chinese publisher's upcoming project, Light of Motiram. I just skipped a little bit through the trailer to show how similar it really is, and it is fucking a ripoff, plain and simple. You can't come up with nicer descriptions. The issue, as described by Sony, is that consumers will be confused by Light of Motiram's marketing, which was seemingly designed to evoke the image of Horizon Zero Dawn. A couple of weeks later, it seems like Tencent is taking heed. Storefront pages and trailers for Light of Motiram have been scrubbed and redone to look and sound quite different. Light of Motiram is an open-world action game where players face off against colossal robots shaped like animals set in a world that combines a futuristic aesthetic with an indigenous people bent. The game sounds like a mishmash of popular ideas in that it also includes concepts like crafting, co-op base building, and some light platforming elements. Still, it was hard to ignore the similarities to Sony's first-party franchise, Horizon Zero Dawn. Beyond the basic concept of taking down giant robots that look like ancient creatures, the protagonist was highly reminiscent of Horizon protagonist Aloy. That was especially the case when Motiram's protagonist was depicted wearing a specific piece of headgear, which more closely mimicked the long-haired, leather-focused look Aloy is known for. Images on the storefront also appeared to be staged in a similar way to Horizon Zero Dawn assets in terms of framing and coloring. Yeah, you just needed to watch this one trailer and it's so obvious. It was absolutely obvious, you know. There's no question about that. It didn't help that Sony alleged that Tencent approached the PlayStation maker with a pitch for an Eastern Horizon Zero Dawn spin-off, and that the concept included things that would later turn up in Light of Motiram, like survival mechanics. Together, all of these factors were enough ammunition for Sony to sue Tencent over Light of Motiram to the tune of $150,000 per work infringed. And I still haven't found out what they meant really per work. What is a work, you know, in this whole case here? Does it mean like every animal which was similarly designed, every mountain? What is a work in their eyes, right? The lawsuit also specified wanting Tencent to hand over all marketing materials so that Sony could destroy them. Yeah, good luck in the digital age with that. It's unclear if Tencent is indeed working with Sony to address the issue, but it seems that the world's biggest gaming company is on the case. If you load up something like Light of Motiram's Steam storefront, nearly all the lead visuals are different now. The original trailer that announced the game seems to have been pulled down, though it survives in the re-uploads from other entities. The key artwork that typically acts as a banner on the right side of the storefront has been changed from Motiram's female protagonist to a couple of digital creatures. Both critters are slightly different shade of blue than the cybernetic colorway that defined Horizon Zero Dawn's look. And that's now what you see. What you saw prior to that, you see here, was what I have in the thumbnail pretty much. Just the same art style, the same color scheme like in Horizon Zero Dawn. Just with done by Tencent's Polaris Quest there. With these adjustments, the marketing Light of Motiram almost comes across like a different game. Not really. It's still, if you know a little bit about Horizon Zero Dawn, you see the similarities still. Granted, these are only cosmetics changes, but Light of Motiram hasn't been released yet, which gives Tencent time to change the game as needed so that it both looks and plays less like a Horizon Zero Dawn knockoff. The release window has been updated to say Light of Motiram is coming out sometime in 2027, which is later than its original window. They wanted to release it next year, 2026 somewhat, but now they are moving it away and probably doing like gameplay-wise something different too, not to get sued again by Sony for too much similarities. And in my opinion, Tencent doesn't care really, but they want probably to have like good relation with Sony because they want also to release like games in China and all that, and having some kind of partnership going on in China in the big market. And they want their own games to be released without any issues in the Western world, in the so-called Western world. And Tencent is fucking gigantic. I haven't actually like realized that prior to this article. For example, if you're a big Dune fan of the new Dune Awakening game, Funcom, it's owned 100% by Tencent. And they are making money with, by the way, with Fortnite, with all their sub-companies, always their subsidiaries companies, they are all about 40% in shareholder. As a shareholder of Epic Games. Big shareholder there too, you know. So it's a big, gigantic company, owns a lot of sub-companies. You didn't know probably that they are owned by Tencent, but yeah, they have money, so they probably want just to have good relations and make money in China and outside of it. They might release in China itself, maybe Light of Motiram completely different. It would be nothing new for a Chinese game publisher. Having a game that defies all copyrights, doesn't care for it, and just release it there, and people are going to enjoy it in their communistic China. Sony did not immediately respond to a request for a comment. For now, Light of Motiram is still available on platforms like Steam, where it can be added to wishlists. Light of Motiram is also currently part of a platform's multiplayer games fest, which appears to celebrate Chinese games that can be played with other people through discounts and unlocks, like profile backgrounds. Yeah, there you have it. That's the development for now. They are changing at least the game globally to look different, probably because they delayed the release now a year, more or less, to feel also gameplay-wise as something different. So does the pet make noises and give your position? Ah, that would be fun. That would be fun, wouldn't it? I hope people are gonna get pissed and don't buy any pets anymore. But Epic is good with marketing of Fortnite skins, and you can even buy skins for shoes and crap like that, which, whatever, man, whatever. Like Master Chief being in Fortnite stupid, I think so too. From Rumble itself, boosting them. Yeah, when they are featured, you're gonna get some bots by Rumble themselves. Stupid, but sadly, Fortnite is the best current Master Chief. For sure, do you remember Alex Zedra with bots? Same thing. I don't know if Alex Zedra ever had bots, just because Ice Cold said it, that doesn't mean it. One of your viewers, John Thunder, uses bots all the time. I'm not gonna name him, but he's lame and gay. And it's not me. And it's not Godzilla. That's what I can say. But one of your viewers who is very often there, and I keep my head out of the chat at that moment. She wears the DI headgears of war. Who? The girl in this game? It's a blatant copy and don't even play the game. I could tell it in less than 5 seconds. China don't give a shit about copyrights. In China itself, no, like I said. Sad news, everybody! Oma Musume, Pretty Derby fans mourn death of champion racehorse Grass Wonder. Grass Wonder, one of the real-life racehorses that inspired a character in Omamuse. Omamuse Pretty Derby passed away on August 8th at age 30, prompting an outpouring of condolences from fans of Cygames anime horse girl franchise. The stallion Grass Wonder is one of the real-life Japanese racehorses Cygames turned into a character for its Omamuse Pretty Derby anime and games. As all Omamuse's characters are anime girls with equine ears and tails, Grass Wonder also got a sex change. You might have heard of that game already. It's literally anime girls with tails and animal ears, but they are still human in general, just running on horse tracks, and you can bet on them and all that shit. Weird game. You can have fun with it. I don't care. But to call like one of those girls being inspired by a horse, what are you going to be inspired? You're literally changing also the gender here. What the fuck? What are you being inspired? The girl eats grass in the free time when you're not watching? Oh, that's so silly. But yes, the racehorse, the real life racehorse died, and they made a little mourning in the game, giving it like a moment of silence and posting it on all kinds of forums and X accounts. It's just weird. Those furries are sometimes really, really weird. Just really weird. But fans are in general all kinds of whatever you're a fan of. You might be weird actually. You might not realize it yourself, but you might be weird. For example, Pokemon fans, weirdos. McDonald's Pokemon card giveaway ends early amid restaurant chaos, scalping, and widespread food waste as fans buy dozens of Happy Meals only to dump uneaten burgers. Those fucking Japanese bitches have too much fucking dollars. McDonald's has announced the early end of a Happy Meal Pokemon card promotion in Japan after the chain was swamped by fans buying up dozens of burgers just to extract the packs found within them. McDonald's promotion began in Japan on Saturday, August 9th and had been due to a finish today, Monday, August 11th. But late on Saturday, McDonald's was forced to acknowledge it had already mostly sold out of the cards in less than 24 hours, meaning anyone without them already would now likely miss out. Oh no. Thank you for your continued patronage of McDonald's. We would like to inform you that the distribution of Pokemon cards to customers who purchased Pokemon Happy Meals, which was scheduled for 3 days only from Saturday, August 9th to Monday, August 11th, national holiday, has ended at many stores due to the higher than expected sales. We sincerely apologize for not being able to meet the expectations of our customers who were looking forward to the product due to the early end of the distribution. Please refrain from contacting stores regarding stock availability. And yeah, we have some pictures, and those are just pictures in the internet, so nobody really can verify right away. But it seems like those might be very real. Like just dumping food. Why? You know, just for Pokemon cards. You buy Happy Meals. You have also homeless people in Japan, you know. You might search for those corners, give them the bags with food at least, you know. They might eat it. I don't know how healthy the McDonald's Japan is. But for fuck's sake, are you that desperate for fucking Pokemon cards, buying dozens of Happy Meals just for the chance of some rare Pokemon? Fucking weirdos. And even police was involved after customers argued in the stores, like, they came all the way to that store and you don't have a card anymore. I already bought those Happy Meals, I already paid for those, and I don't get cards. What the fuck? And police came in some cases and had to argue with the store manager and with the customer and all that stuff. It's really weird how fans of certain types act. We are, of course, a little bit over time because it's Monday. I have to cover more news than on other days, but we are doing so far pretty well. We have one little last news about maybe somebody who is a little bit annoyed, but he is also gay, probably. EA refuses to fund Dragon Age remasters. You crave. I don't crave Dragon Age. Alongside issues relating the 3 RPG's engines, EA is another reason why you haven't seen remakes or even just remasters of Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition. Speaking on Mr. Matty's Place podcast, the former Dragon Age director Mark Dara, I didn't found that he was directing anything. He was just an executive producer, as far as I could see it in a quick note here, explained that BioWare, along with other developers inside EA, run their own finances to some degree. Dara then said the RPG studio didn't have the funds to greenlit a remaster project due to the other games it was already working on. Yeah, he pretty much just says, yeah, we don't have the money, but it would made money if we could have gotten like a little bit fund for the remakes. And Mark Dara, he was talking in the podcast and said, supposedly, I haven't watched the whole 1.5 hour or whatever the interview is, about Whaleguard, best Dragon Age he ever played. So I'm not sure if he is honest about what makes money and what not. Because Dragon Age the Whaleguard didn't make money. So much is for sure. And BioWare is pretty much done. They are just existing now via name. I don't know any game that will come out in the near future. I think EA is just going to swallow up the franchises, is including it into the EA stuff, and BioWare might be gone in about 2 years or so. That's just my assumption. But the guy who tells Dragon Age the Whaleguard was the best Dragon Age he ever played, can't trust. Maybe he's just pissed because he was also involved in Dragon Age the Whaleguard. But he's now not there anymore. This leads Dara to suggest EA stance was probably, sure, go ahead and do it, but do it with the money you already have. And it's like, well, we can't do it with the money that we already have because we are doing all these other things. Like Dragon Age to Veilguard, which was a massive hit, wasn't it? No, it was not. Those people. All the canola, sunflower oil is just bad for you. Sunflower oil is not as bad as canola. Because sunflower were always used by humans for producing oil. Canola, not so much. That's why it's the human body is not so happy with canola oil. Or how we call it, rape oil. Because it's rape plant. Also full of food dye. I don't know in Japan. In Japan might be very different. In Japan it might be more higher quality fries and meat. Who the fuck knows? I was never there. Can't tell. In the past, McDonald's was using animal fat to prepare food. Much healthier. Shit straight green. First Dragon Age was decent. There was some gay shit, but at least you could avoid it. Got to go for a bit later, everyone. Bye, John. Great start for the week. Ahoy, FP! Sounds like a salty faggot. He might be. I don't know. FP on another photo finish. Kind of. Modern sunflower oil is compromised by pesticides. Yeah, I mean, all plants. That is not only with sunflowers. That is where the problem is in many foods. Very true. Where was I? Why did I go back to the McDonald's? Yeah, talking to the remaster in general, Dara State EA was kind of against the idea. It's strange for a publicly traded company to basically be against free money, but they seem to be against it. EA put out Mass Effect Legendary Edition on PS4 in 2021, and then a remake of the first Dead Space for PS5 in 2023. Which, that had at least success, you know? That made at least a little bit money, you know? Unlike your beloved best Dragon Age, the Veilguard, the Failguard. Last year it was explained by Dragon Age the Veilguard creative director John Epler that remastering the 3 games and bundling them into one collection would be difficult, as they were all built on different proprietary engines. So what? If you make a remake, you can make all the engines, one engine for all 3 games. If you do a remaster, you just need to do fucking only higher polygon counts, higher textures, resolutions, maybe change a little bit like the gameplay, how the character moves and all that. But you still can use the engines. That's no argument in my eyes, not really. Dragon Age Origins and its Awakening expansion were made using the Eclipse engine, and then Dragon Age 2 used an updated version of it called Lycium engine. For Dragon Age Inquisition, BioWare switched to Frostbite. Compared to the original Mass Effect trilogy, which were all developed using the Unreal Engine, bringing the first 3 Dragon Age RPGs together into a single application. You don't put it in a single application. Nobody asked for that. I don't know why you're suggesting bring it in one single application. And having them work together represents a far tougher task. John Epler added, I think I'm one of about maybe 20 people left at BioWare who's actually used Eclipse. It's something that's not going to be as easy as Mass Effect, but we do love the original games. Never say never. I guess that's what it comes down to. Yeah, I just stated my opinion here. You don't need to make the whole game new. In that sense, use the old engine. If the old engine is still compatible with your developer workstations, who gives a shit? Nobody asked you to put it all in one app, so to say. Ahoy, Tin Rabbit. So yeah, there we have it. 3 days of news. I hope something sticked in your head and you remember that. A remaster game, to me, suggests it was released too early. Not necessarily. It could be because back in the days you had different screens, you had different GPUs, you had different DirectX versions and all that, and you can do more today just visually. So no game might be released too early. But it's your opinion for sure. I don't think so though. I don't think. For example, a good remaster is, in my eyes, the Soul Reaver games. And they listened to fans, like the statue looked like way too weird, not female anymore. They changed that right before the release. They redesigned certain things and pleased the fans. It works fine on newer system. It looks better. It looks like upgraded, and new audiences reached. Why not? Why the fuck not? Well, that's for it today, guys. 3 days of news combined in the Monday news every day, Monday through Friday. TAGN, the Angry Game News, here on this channel. Switzerland.playit. On Rumble, of course. On Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. No chats there, but I'm still streaming because I can. Why not? If I have the ability to use it with the technologies today, why not? Try to reach audiences. I hope you have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, wherever you are. Next news tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, here again. My name is Ike. See you. Thank you. Bye-bye.